Why the Milkman Shudders when he perceives the dawn, by Lord Dunsany. In the hall of the ancient company of milkmen, round the great fireplace at the end, when the winter logs are burning and all the craft are assembled, they tell today, as their grandfathers told before them, why the milkman shudders when he perceives the dawn. When dawn comes creeping over the edges of hills, peers through the tree trunks, making wonderful shadows, touches the tops of tall columns of smoke going up from awakening cottages in the valleys, and breaks all golden over Kentish fields, when going on tiptoe thence it comes to the walls of London, and slips all shyly up those gloomy streets, the milkman perceives it, and shudders. A man may be a milkman's working apprentice, may know what borax is and how to mix it, yet not for that is the story told to him. There are 5 men alone that tell that story, 5 men appointed to the master of the company, by whom each place is filled as it falls vacant, and if you do not hear it from one of them, you hear the story from none, and so can never know why the milkman shudders when he perceives the dawn. It is the way of one of these 5 men, grey beards all, and milkmen from infancy, to rub his hands by the fire when the great logs burn, and to settle himself more easily in his chair, perhaps to sip some drink far other than milk, then to look round to see that none are there to whom it would not be fitting the tale should be told, and looking from face to face, and seeing none but the men of the ancient company, and questioning mutely the rest of the 5 with his eyes, if some of the 5 be there, and receiving their permission to cough and to tell the tale. And a great hush falls in the hall of the ancient company, and something about the shape of the roof and the rafters makes the tale resonate all down the hall, so that the youngest hears it far away from the fire, and knows, and dreams of the day when perhaps he will tell himself why the milkman shudders when he perceives the dawn. Not as one tells some casual fact is it told, nor is it commented on from man to man, but it is told by that great fire only and when the occasion and the stillness of the room and the merit of the wine and the profit of all seem to warrant it, in the opinion of the 5 deputed men. Then does one of them tell it, as I have said, not heralded by any master of ceremonies, but as though it arose out of the warmth of the fire, before which his knotted hands would chance to be. Not a thing learned by rote, but told differently by each teller, and differently according to his mood, yet never has one of them dared to alter its salient points. There is none so base among the company of milkmen. The company of powderers for the face know of this story, and have envied it. The worthy company of chin barbers, and the company of whiskerers. But none have heard it in the milkmen's hall, through whose wall no rumour of the secret goes, and though they have invented tales of their own, antiquity mocks them. This mellow story was ripe with honourable years, when milkmen wore beaver hats. Its origin was still mysterious when white smocks were the vogue. Men asked one another when Stuarts were on the throne, and only the ancient company knew the answer, why the milkman shudders when he perceives the dawn. It is all for envy of this tale's reputation that the company of powderers for the face have invented the tale that they too tell of an evening, why the dog barks when he hears the step of the baker. And because probably all men know that tale, the company of powderers for the face have dared to consider it famous. Yet it lacks mystery, and is not ancient, is not fortified with classical allusion, has no secret lore, is common to all who care for an idle tale, and shares with the wars of the elves, the calf butcher's tale, and the story of the unicorn and the rose, which is the tale of the company of horse drivers, their obvious inferiority. But unlike all these tales so new to time, and many another that the last 2 centuries tell, the tale that the milkmen tell ripples wisely on, so full of quotation from the profoundest writers, so full of recondite allusion, so deeply tinged with all the wisdom of man, and instructive with the experience of all times, that they hear it in the milkmen's hall as they interpret allusion after allusion, and trace obscure quotation, lose idle curiosity, and forget to question why the milkman shudders when he perceives the dawn. You also, my reader, give not yourself up to curiosity. Consider of how many it is the bane. Would you to gratify this tear away the mystery from the milkmen's hall, and wrong the ancient company of milkmen? Would they, if all the world knew it, and it became a common thing, tell that tale any more than they have told for the last 400 years? Rather a silence would settle upon their hall, and a universal regret for the ancient tale and the ancient winter evenings. And though curiosity were a proper consideration, yet even then this is not the proper place, nor this the proper occasion, for the tale. For the proper place is only the milkmen's hall, and the proper occasion only when the log burns well, and when wine has been deeply drunken. Then, when the candles were burning well in long rows down to dimness, down to the darkness and mystery that lie at the end of the hall, then were you one of the company, and were I one of the 5, would I rise from my seat by the fireside, and tell you, with all the embellishments that it has gleaned from ages, that story that is the heirloom of the milkmen. And the long candles would burn lower and lower, and gutter away, till they liquefied in their sockets, and draughts would blow from the shadowy end of the hall, stronger and stronger, till the shadows came after them. And still I would hold you with that treasured story, not by any wit of mine, but all for the sake of its glamour and the times out of which it came. One by one the candles would flare and die, and when all were gone, by the light of ominous sparks, when each milkman's face looks fearful to his fellow, you would know, as now you cannot, why the milkman shudders when he perceives the dawn.